Session Zeros are like breakfast.
Both of them happen pretty early on in your day and in your D&D games.
Both are foundational, setting the stage for all the future goodness to come.
So let's cook up something you're gonna love.
Ben, tell me about your breakfast today.
Ooh, I had some bacon, some eggs, some coffee, some toast. Delicious.
Okay, nice. All right, now me. Kept it a little lighter.
Okay.
Rock some yogurt, little granola, piece of fruits.
Very heart-forward thinking. I love it. Different strokes for different folks is what we're saying. Not everyone likes the same thing for their breakfast.
Just like not everyone likes the same type of games of Dungeons and Dragons.
And that's why the first thing that you want to do to make sure that your Session Zero sizzles is sit down with your group and talk to them about it.
Yeah, talk to your group. Take a moment, smile at everyone, they're probably your friends, and be like, look, we are all here for the same reason.
We're going to have the absolute best time we can, having the most possible fun playing Dungeons and Dragons together.
And to that point, I'm going to go ahead and start by telling you what my favorite parts of the game are.
Then we're going to go around the table, and I would like all of you to do the same.
There is no sense in taking the time and the energy and the resources to cook up a big, delicious breakfast that no one's gonna fucking eat.
We're not Denny's. Bacon and eggs.
Moon's over my hammy.
Yogurt and granola.
Moon's over my hammy.
Maybe she's a biscuits and gravy kind of gal. Maybe their moon's over my hammy. We don't know.
Oh, hey, what's up? I like to laugh and make cool characters. This guy here, Ben, RP, baby. Maybe they want something dark and gritty.
Ooh,
maybe it's combat or bust for them.
Murder hobos. But go around the table. Give everyone a chance to tell you what they want for breakfast, you know?
And once everyone has added their 2 cents on taste into this D&D conversation, it is up to you, DMs, because you, friend, are the chef.
It's your job to listen to what each person at the table has to say and then take that into account for the campaign you're planning.
Yeah, think of this like coming up with the menu that you're about to cook. And real talk, DMs, you probably have some preconceptions about what you really want this campaign to be, and you might have to let them go.
I mean, you can make all the French toast you like because that's what you're into, but if everyone you're trying to serve it up to is gluten-free, then, well, they're still going to be hungry or terribly bloated, and you're probably not going to be very happy either.
Once you have decided on a group what the menu, what the type of Dungeons and Dragons game you're going to play is, it's time to heat up the skillet.
For the sake of simplicity, we're going to use my delicious breakfast, and we're going to cook up a scramble for you.
So you can't make a scramble sizzle with a cold pan.
No. Chefs, DMs, fire up that burner. Give the group the trailer of your campaign.
You've seen movie trailers. What is the best movie trailer you've ever seen?
In a world where Max says I'm an idiot. In a world where Brendan Fraser can be anyone you want. This summer, your D&D campaign will be awesome.
I was thinking more like the sound and the edits and the tone, but sure.
A good trailer gets people excited for what's to come and lets them know what they're in for.
Yeah, like if you think about it, the mood and tone of a Marvel trailer is like radically different for, say, like an indie horror flick.
Turn up the heat on your Session Zero by really selling your players on what's about to happen, chefs.
Yeah, don't give away the ending. Keep it spoiler free. I mean, tease a thing or two because it's fun.
We're not
but
Netflix.
Set the emotional tone of your campaign.
Then, once your skillet is hot, it's time to lay down them thick old strips of bacon, baby.
We here at PeakD&D like to do things right, so you best believe we're cooking our scramble in a whole mess of bacon fat.
Oh, heart healthy. Bacon is your player's stats.
Stats are meat for your characters.
See? Easy. The best way we've found to roll stats is all together around the same table at the same time.
If you want your group to start on the same page, start your group on the same page.
I mean, same chat room if you're online, it's the same thing, but do it all together. As for the method you use to roll those stats, entirely up to you.
Look, Nick, our DM, he likes to run and we like to play high-level epic campaigns.
We love the superhero grid. We also appreciate that not everybody does. Maybe you like point buy for some reason.
Keep your menu choice in mind. Choose a system for generating stats that fits with the game you've decided to play.
I forgot that we don't like to have fun anywhere when we play Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Now that your bacon is all nice and crispy, it's time to bring it out of the pan and set it off to the side for a minute. Let it cool down.
But you've got to make room in the pan for your characters.
Once you've cooked up your meat stats, it's time to make those characters.
Chefs, there may not be a ton of things for you to do during this point of Session Zero, so look, take a breather. You've probably earned it, or you will.
Most of that sizzling Session Zero work falls to the DM. That's just the way it is. Just like cooking a hot breakfast falls to the chef.
So DMs, kick back, chill, check your phone for a minute. But, I mean, let everyone at the table know that you're available for any questions. But don't push the players to hurry or anything.
Once all the players have selected their ingredients, it's time to chop them up, get them ready.
Go around the table. Have each person announce their race, their class, their skills, and their backstory.
This is super helpful if, like us, you've got a small group, like 3 to 4 players.
Yeah, the chopping step is pretty rad because it gives everyone around the table to get a sense of the complexion of the party and the basic coverage.
Well, forget you, T-Mobile.
Skill coverage.
Oh, you meant skill coverage,
I did.
right? Like medicines, which we did not take. None of us. I don't know. No one needs medicine. Make sure someone in the party has the important skills, whatever your group deems those are, and spread them out.
Or make peace with the fact that no one has investigation.
Or medicine.
Either way.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
DMs, as you know best what the party is going to be facing throughout your campaign, throw them a bone once in a while. If everyone's picking skills and you know this campaign is going to be about geopolitics and no one's taking history, maybe suggest that someone might want to take history. Paladins, I'm looking at you.
Okay, your skillet is hot. Them meat juices are coating the pan. You've got all your character ingredients, you've got them all chopped up, and boom, into the pan they go.
Cooking, in this case, means asking your players questions about their characters.
Yeah, look, there are tons of resources out there where you can find these questions pre-made.
Or you can just click on the link that we've conveniently provided in the description below and use ours here at PeakD&D. Your call.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
All right, chefs, you've had a nice little breather. It is time to get your ass back to work.
DMs. The first question, ask about their backstory. I know. But ask for as much as they've got, who they are, where they come from, what their personality is like. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, but totally reassure everyone at the table that they do not have to have all the details hashed out.
No.
It is actually better if they don't. You're looking for broad strokes here. These are just dots that you can connect later.
We got a big old paintbrush. That's all we need. Broad strokes. Cooking is important, though. You want to make sure that you get this part of breakfast right, so take your time.
Yeah, no one wants an undercooked breakfast.
No.
And taking your time here means being smart and intentional with the player and your group who you decide to choose to go first.
Not everyone likes getting called on in class, you know?
So, start by asking for volunteers. If you've got one, great, let that person start.
If you've got a few, pick the person who looks the most excited and start with them.
If you've got none, pick a senior player at your table who you know will at least take this part seriously.
I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 players. Start with the one person and go around your table and hear from everybody. When it comes back around to you, congratulations, you've stirred that scramble just the one time.
Little known fact, the secret to a truly sizzling scamble, 11 stirs.
Why is it 11? It goes to 11. The next question you should ask is, why has your character, in one sentence, come to wherever the place is starting? This tavern, that town, this forgotten realm.
Start with that same person, around the table again. And when it gets back to you,
what does your character want, in one sentence?
Then, what does your character need?
Where did your character first learn of these abilities or manifest any powers they might have? How do they feel about that?
How did your character become involved in the adventuring life?
What is your character's favorite part of their right now, their given circumstances in that moment?
Would your character, if given the option and on their terms, settle down?
What is your character's most appealing personality trait?
What aspect of your character annoys people the most?
If your character had the power of a god for 5 minutes, what would they do with that time?
DMs, the more you listen and take notes from this cooking and stirring step, the more you put these elements, the things that you learn here, into your games, the better they will be.
We have, of course, of late gone through our own Session Zero and answered these self-same questions with our new characters in Campaign 2, available now on PeakD&D's YouTube channel.
Where all fine campaigns are available. Alright, around the 37 mark, you can see a good example of what we're talking about when we say broad strokes and not needing to have every single thing figured out.
And at 48 minutes, I really like how you answered the question about your character first displaying their abilities. Like, that was mwah.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like, straight up, I had a rough draft of a sketch of, like, what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the details all worked out, and, like, that's exactly what I tried to convey.
Yeah. You can check it out here at the link. There's 2 examples that show that it's okay to not know every little thing about your character. We're still figuring it out. Maybe you can show those to your group and let them know you don't have to know everything.
So check it out. I don't know about you, but it is starting to smell damn good in here, so we are about getting done.
That's some breakfast, my friend. Almost done. But there's one last thing to make sure that your breakfast is extra special delicious before you serve it up to your friends. And that's spices.
Spices are the added layer of awesomeness that make your campaign mouthwatering.
There's baby, there's ginger, there's scary. Spices are something that's special for you, chefs, so add them to your game to make them truly yours.
In Campaign 2, the campaign we haven't named yet, Nick had us choose a d20. There were 8 of them, and each was a different color.
Then he asked us to mark down which one of those dice we ended up choosing.
Then things happened.
Okay.
Something happened to Ben immediately. For me and Tony, Nick was like, yeah, we'll talk about it.
And I'm sure those conversations were not at all foreboding. We have no clue what these dice will mean, what they'll do, or how they'll affect us or the story or anything coming down the line. But they will, and we know that. It's something that Nick made up special for this campaign that adds that little extra spice.
Or honestly, maybe he stole it. Who cares? Look, creativity, on the shoulder of giants. It's okay to borrow the good ideas you see.
They might be giants, but in our previous campaign, Into the Fae and Beyond the Feywild, Nick used what we called knots.
Nick's knots were additional backgrounds that we were required to choose.
Because we, as part of the character creation process, during the ingredients phase, picked a background like you do when you make a character, but later we chose from another special pile of backgrounds.
And these special piles of backgrounds were ones that Nick created, and they served as anchors for our character, tying them into the fabric of the story and the given circumstances that we as players were about to be in.
Now, none of them had any mechanical benefits. There weren't any bonuses or extra skills or tools or penalties even. They were more like, okay, you've been doing this, working here with these people, X, Y, and Z, and that's what's happening for you when we start this story.
It was cool because each of us as players had a sense of the set of contacts that our character had and the history with those people and a little bit of where our characters' heads were at.
Chefs, you can steal these ideas or steal someone else's, but adapt them and use them in your own games for a little extra spice.
Or Colonel Sanders it up, invent your own super secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, make it yours. Whatever you do, add it to your Session Zero and it will be toothsome.
What a great frickin' word. Toothsome. I love it. The meal's cooked, so it's time to sit down and eat, friends.
Bon appetit. Sorry, DMs. Turns out eating means more work for you. Pew, 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 pew.
But DMs, you know the story. You know what's going to happen, where it's all going to start, and how. So, place your players.
Go around the table again. Tell each player where their character is going to begin at the start of Session 1.
If you notice someone isn't terribly receptive to their placement, then by all means, find something and figure out something together that works.
Besides, maybe that idea you had in mind for that particular player and their character is actually perfect for someone else's.
Just use it on them. Once everyone's placed and all the delicious food has been eaten and enjoyed, there's one final step. You gotta do the dishes, friends.
Yeah, I know, like doing the dishes is not the most sexy, awesome step of the cooking process, but it is necessary.
Dishes is where you're gonna wanna bring up all the topics that you haven't talked about yet as far as the running of the game, like character death.
Is that something that's possible in your game? Is it likely? Probably not. What are the consequences?
Is this going to be a high magic or low magic setting? Do you start with magic items? All that stuff.
Can I just wander into a shop and buy a fucking wand? I don't know.
Maybe, but this is also the time to discuss the house rules that you like or that a player saw on Critical Role or something and they want to bring it in. Potions as bonus actions? Hold on. Being able to hold your turn, move around an initiative, or whatever. These are all things that we discussed when we did the dishes. It's also time to discuss the no-no list.
This is the opportunity for everyone at the table to speak up about the things that they are not comfortable with being a part of your game.
I know this gets a bad rap and people are worried about, triggers and all these things that come up, but just the basic stuff of I'm not comfortable with graphic depictions of violence or torture or extended scenes with sex or violence or sexual violence. You just need to listen and hear what everybody has to say. Most of the time, it'll be easy to respect people's boundaries. D&D is supposed to be fun for everybody. Okay, soapbox is done.
And there's one last part of Session Zero things that we think are pretty awesome, but we actually didn't show on our session.
Yeah, it's not because we don't do that step, but it's sort of become a pre-camera ritual for us. It's woven into the fabric of our gaming sessions.
Yeah, like you don't see it because the cameras aren't on, but before we start and after we finish, we have a little state of the group chat.
Yeah, there are the times when we have an opportunity to talk about the last session, what we're planning, what we liked, what we didn't.
Yeah, we'll laugh about our shitty rolls.
Which I have a lot of.
We'll speculate about what's to come.
Which I never do.
We'll discuss the game as a whole.
Never do that either.
And make sure that everyone, the DM, the players, everyone is having fun.
That we're pretty good at. DM burnout is real, of course, so players not having fun is also real. So it's time to check in, formalize, and normalize that state of the group conversation amongst your friends. Find whatever cadence works best for checking in with everybody.
Yeah, you can do it each session. You can do it every other week. You can do it once a month. Maybe it's a quarterly report for you. Whatever.
In a comb-bound binder. And that, friends, is how you make your Session Zeros sizzle.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Max.
Thank you for watching.
Never knew that was coming. Thank you for checking out this video. It's been our pleasure to share our D&D ideas.
Do the things. Do all the things, and thank you. And tell your friends if you liked it, seriously. If you have a Session Zero and you thought this was at least entertaining and had some good information, share it with the rest of your group.
So make sure you like and subscribe. Give us that XP. We'd appreciate it. If you have a name for Campaign 2 that you'd like us to consider, drop that in the comments as well. We have not named Campaign 2, so go check out our Session Zero. Have more fun. We'll see you at the peak.